And then you've got the political corruption. Again, these are not isolated incidents. This is a case where I think we have to see this as a system at work, not just an example of like a few isolated fraudsters. There's some round tripping here where some of the funds that are going into the pockets of the Somali community through this fraud end up back in the hands of politicians. And the really extreme example of this is that Tim Walz even changed the flag of Minnesota to resemble the Somali flag. I mean, he lowered the old flag and raised this new flag that resembles the Somali flag, which shows the political clout of this community, which is why I think a lot of politicians turned a blind eye to what was going on. So I just think you've got all the ingredients here of this story. You've got this suicidal immigration policy that we've had combined with massive government fraud, with dereliction of duty and incompetence, combined with political corruption. And that's why the story is going viral and has gotten hundreds of millions of views. So kudos to you, Nick. And of course, the way that they are defending themselves, well, first of all, the press is trying to ignore the story as much as possible. But to the extent that they have to confront it, what they do is just accuse this of being white supremacy. That anyone who notices that this fraud is being perpetrated by this Somalian community, that somehow that must be racial animus. That's the only reason people care about, or something like that. And so they've accused Nick. And that actually is the last element here, which is, again, this tired, worn out trope of accusing anyone who threatens this corrupt government machine of being somehow racist. In any event, let me stop there. Nick, let me get your reaction to all of that.
Yeah, no, I love everything you said because it's so true, especially like, for instance, they found a man here with $7 million he had committed in fraud, and then the judge overturned it, right? And then Tim Walz is calling people like me a white supremacy. He says we're acting on white supremacy. No, Tim, it's millions and billions of dollars in fraud of hardworking Minnesotan people that's being sent who knows where. And so it's not like, and then today I'm just looking at the media and people are, it's the craziest thing. I get on there and people are starting to say all these like crazy allegations about me. I'm like, whoa, where are you guys? People have even came out said I'm like a pedo. It's like, what? Like I literally just went and did the job that everyone's been wanting to see done for years, right? And I just brought limelight to everything, try to make it as just a simple issue about fraud happening.
Let's just be clear. You just went to these daycares, and I looked up the CCAP that you mentioned. It's the Minnesota Child Care Assistance Program is what CCAP stands for. And it's a state-administered program, but it's funded largely by federal dollars to subsidize childcare for low-income families. So it's not just Minnesotans who are paying for this. It's all of us through our federal tax dollars. And I'm seeing a lot of follow-on commentators in other states now saying, hey, you know what? In Ohio or in the state of Washington, we're looking at the government rolls and we're seeing that there's over 500 Somali-owned daycare centers. And by the way, that's just like one type of fraud or one type of very suspicious behavior. But you can start to see that people are starting to pull the thread here, and they're seeing like where this fraud goes. And it's starting to raise questions about lots of other government programs as well.